Hi everyone, I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
This is 25 Plus Life, and today we are at Echo Lake Beach, Franconia Notch State Park in New Hampshire. And look at this. Out of all the things you could find, we found an RV park right here, right on the beach. This is Cannon RV Park right next to Echo Lake. Fee is $40 per night. You must be self-contained, but it does look like they have 5 or 6, and there's actually somebody. This is December. We're a week away from Christmas, and unless that's Santa Claus, they're doing something. We should have taken the RV here. But you got a nice little pad. You got electrical hookups over here. Looks like water, and a picnic table again. And it does say that reservations are required. I'll put a link in the description below. But this is not why we're here. As we normally bring you some RV park reviews, some KOA reviews, today a little bit more serious. One of the questions that we get asked all the time between both of our Instagram accounts is, what happened to your eBay videos? And we get asked that quite a lot. Quite often. And if you're new to the channel, what we do is we travel the country with our Winnebago in tow. We stop at Goodwills, thrift stores, church sales, community sales, yard sales, maybe any other kind of sale. And we pick up things that we find that are undervalued. We pick those up, we sell them on eBay for profit, and we put that right back in our travels, and it brings us to these beautiful places like this. That's what we do. And then what we started was we started getting involved in the eBay community, and because it is a rather large community, and we found that, wow, there's a lot of people on eBay talking about what they sold. They're telling you how to do it. They're telling you, look at how many millions of dollars you can make. And we jumped right in. We run a successful 2-store operation. We started part-time. Carrie has gone full-time with it. I am her shipping manager now, as she has taken over pretty much 98% of the operation. And we make a fairly good living doing just that. I keep my 9 to 5 because I like to have health insurance. So until we get everything settled, that's basically the thing. And we were sharing our experiences of things that we bought, how much we paid for them, and all that stuff, complete profit breakdowns, and we were posting them up, and they were getting probably some of the highest views on our channel besides Winnebago reviews. And then when we started traveling the country a little more, we started hitting these big time YouTubers. And I'm not going to go into names because I really don't want to call anybody out, because I mean, you know, everybody has a hustle.
To a lot of areas.
But we'll let you figure this out. But we've been to Virginia, the Commonwealth. We've been to Connecticut, thrifting. We've been to South Carolina, where there are no tornadoes, and there was lots of big deals. Yeah. Dream deals, as a matter of fact. And one thing we found that was interesting was, if you talk to people will open up and give you all the information you need. And one thing that we found is that a lot of this stuff that we were seeing was staged. And a case in point was, we know somebody that was in Virginia, or it's in Virginia, that has a couple of thrift store booths, and supposedly makes all kinds of money at the thrift store booths. We went there, we purchased stuff, and quite honestly, there was nothing impressive. There was no big amounts of money being made there. Everything was valued at maybe $1 or $2. It was just stuff. And then you go into the Goodwills of the same area and thrift stores in the same area, and they'll talk to you, oh yeah, we know so-and-so. These are staged. They come in with a chest-strapped GoPro, and they pretend to find good finds, and in return, they get to make a video, and we get more traffic into our store. That seemed to be a theme over and over again, especially as we were down in the Carolinas, and we talked to people that have stores that the deals are so good you can only dream of them. And we found that the top YouTuber for that area was doing some promotional work for them, and did an awful lot of, hey, look what I found, this $300 phone on $2 bin day.
It was just nicely placed on top.
That was just nicely placed on top. And in return, they get traffic to their store. This gentleman did a few plugs for them, and then boom, they get 80,000 subscribers. And what they don't tell you is that what they've done essentially is that they've changed the market on what you can buy. And what do I mean by that? You go into the ones that do the chest mounted GoPro, going into yard sales, and especially Goodwills, have gone in and said, look what I've picked up for $2, and I'm going to put this up here on the screen, and I paid $2. Here's the transaction, and I sold that for $40, right? And that's my profit, and I made good money. Until you realize that, one, if you're on the other end of that, right, and you're a customer, let's say you're a customer, right, and you got that Harry Potter doll that you were waiting for, right, that was, semi hard to find, but it saved you from shopping, and you bought it for $40, and you get it home, and you're flipping through YouTube one day, and you see that Joey bought it for $2, right? What does that do? Well, that creates very unhappy people, because no matter what, it's like a used car salesman telling you how much they paid for the car that you just went in and spent $20,000 on, and you find out that they took it to trade for $2,000.
We did it too, though. We've
done it
for the Beanie Baby sensation. We fell for the
We've done it all.
Pyrex, whatever it is. We've done it.
We've watched people, buy sheds. We've watched all these stories. We've hooked up with guys that could help us do deals. And the reality is, if you're supporting these channels, and this is why we stopped doing this, because what we noticed was it brought a whole lot of attention to sourcing, right? And the majority of these YouTubers that have 50,000, 80,000 subscribers, the majority of their sales, if you pay attention long enough, are coming from other resellers, because they want to show their admiration for the work that they've done, the knowledge that they've gained. And the reality is, common sales, like your store, if you're watching this, if your store is struggling on eBay, right, and your items are priced right, and you can't understand why you're moving, it's because you don't have a YouTube following of 80,000 people to buy your stuff. And that's what happens. And we noticed that when we stopped doing YouTube videos about eBay, our sales dropped off, ironically, and we're not even close to being at that level. So then he said, well, why did they do it? Well, I'll tell you why. And this is an interesting fact. There is more money being made off of YouTube videos than they are doing eBay sales.
False advertising.
It's just fact. Yeah. So they create enough interest in what they do to make it seem like they're doing better than what they are, so that you watch the videos, they get viewed, and they get paid in ad revenue. And in the meantime, what adds even more gas to this fire is that they're sponsored by people that are listing services. They're sponsored by bubble wrap companies, and they're very secretive about how they do it, or maybe not so secretive, is that they're very cunning in how they do it. Instead of doing a paid promotional spot like you're supposed to do, they'll just talk about what a great deal they get from this bubble place, right? Or how they were able to increase their sales dramatically by using this listing agent, even though they're suspended from eBay for 60 days. So, it's one of those things. So it's kind of a buyer beware thing. And if you had caught any of our eBay videos, I was very, what I used to say about, I won't ever sell you a blue banana, right? Because we all know bananas aren't blue, right? But that's effectively what they're doing. But when you're watching these videos, and it is harmless because you do want to see what's out there, but what you're doing is you're changing the prices of things that you're going to see in the Goodwills. You're changing the prices of what things sell for on eBay if you're a reseller. And if you talk to enough of these store managers of Goodwills, especially throughout Connecticut and South Carolina, where we really were heavily talking to these people, they were finding that they could charge more, right? So now when everybody talks about that dual deck VCR and how much money it gets, well, you have two different things about it being on an eBay video. One, you have the guy that's walking in with a chest mounted GoPro showing you the deal that he got, right, for $5. Now the Goodwill employees who've watched the video, they all know what's going on because there's a guy with a GoPro strapped to him.
And I'm sure happy to say where they're from.
Right. And then they come back, and then you go in that same Goodwill, and you notice that a week later, dual deck VCRs are now $20.
Florida wasn't that bad, though. Florida wasn't that bad. It's a little bit bigger, but the ones with the big channel names, right, that are doing this, and you know who they are,
this is what's causing this, and it's causing a nationwide rift in the amount of people who are going out there buying these $20 dual deck VCRs, and then the profit that used to be 100 is now 40 because everybody's doing it, and it's just become this big thing. And the only ones that are laughing and making money are the ones that have the YouTube videos, right? So if you're really supporting people who are showing you what they buy things for and they're selling things for on eBay, and you're a reseller, I would really think twice about supporting that, because what you're essentially doing is you're taking money out of your pocket. All it takes,
store.
or store or whatever, all it takes is a simple little thing would be to go onto any eBay Facebook page group and watch the mentality of these new round of sellers that instantly go, I sell my item for the least amount of money. I take the lowest offering there is. If someone's selling a, let's just say a DVD for $10, I undercut them and I sell it at $9. And that's great until the next person comes along and they undercut them and sell them at $8, and so on and so forth. And that's what you're seeing. So you're seeing a crazy market, you're seeing overinflated and exaggerated sales. And at the same time, nobody's going, hey, how does this guy or gal or whatever manage to have a full-time job? Right, because a lot of them do.
Right, it's nothing to get crabby about, but
whether you're a nurse, whether you're a teacher, whether you're, self-employed or whatever, how are they able to do all this stuff and
make these videos
on daily, where it takes at least, and our videos aren't anything great, and it takes me at least 45 minutes to an hour by the time you create the thumbnail, you do the encoding, you get all this stuff, you upload. This is time that it takes, not to mention the time it takes to shoot these videos, right? How are they able to do all this and still have these stores that are doing $200,000 and $300,000 in sales? Because they're not. They're making money off of your clicks, your views, and quite frankly, your kindness. But
they're picking and choosing as to what they show you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
It's not, your everyday items.
I challenge you to find your top, whoever in this category. If you're watching this as a reseller, find out whoever your top inspiration is on this format, meaning whether it's a guy in the shed or a guy out in the woods or whatever, right? And take that and find out how much time, just think, how much time they take editing and shooting videos, how much time they spend making TikTok videos now, Instagram posts, setting up merchandise for you to buy, stickers, all that stuff, and how much time do you think that they really could dedicate to that job, and how much time you're spending to get your store running and make sales, just to make a decent wage, right? And that's what's happening. So we've chosen to no longer support those channels, and we also have chosen not to be part of that will take away not only from our own business, but take away from your business as well. So that leaves us to, where does this channel go from here? This channel has always been about places like this. This is Echo Lake in Franconia Notch State Park in New Hampshire. This channel's always been about our journeys, our craziness in lifestyle, and things that we do, and we'll continue to do that. And we're going to transition more to vlog styles and just random thoughts on things, some reviews, stuff like that. So if you have any thoughts on this, I'd like to hear your thoughts, your thinking. You can always follow Carrie on Instagram at 25pluslife. You can follow me on Instagram at Talking Flips, and we'll get to the future of that Instagram account as well. Let us know what you think. What do you think of the overabundance of sellers and everything else? Because I'll tell you, there's a lot more money to be made on YouTube if you can do the act and do the dance than there ever will be on eBay. It's just fact.
But that only lasts for so long too.
Until this market crashes. So, but at the end of the day, I have more to say on this. I want to, but I think at this point I'll stop here because it's getting kind of cold. It is December. By the time this video is posted, we wish you and your family Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a whatever celebration you have of the holidays.
Just
enjoy this, enjoy life, enjoy family, and simply exist. That's it. Until next time, we'll catch you, how do the kids say it? Down the road.